Okay, hi YouTube, Mr. User Boss here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my top iOS apps and games for the months May to June 2014. So here we have my iPad Air, which actually has a tempered glass screen protector and a new sort of home button that I fitted, and it's kind of similar to the iPhone 5S's, and I just thought I'd quickly show you that. It's a nice thing you can get off eBay or something. So anyway, the first app we're looking at is Apps Gone Free. Now this is quite an interesting one because it actually scours the App Store for apps that were paid and initially go free, whether it's for promotion or just, brand new marketing. And for whatever reason, you get notified and you can then instantly go and download those paid apps for free. So this is pretty cool, and you do get some really trash apps on here, but you also get some really good ones, so that's definitely one to check out. Now the second one is Scribblenauts Remix. Now this is a really fun and very interesting game. I'm actually kind of surprised that they released something like this on iOS devices because it really is, it's like a console game. And it's amazing what they've thought of. You basically sort of, you're placed in weird and, unusual scenarios and you're asked to come up with solutions to the problem. And the way you solve them is with your magic keyboard, and you just type in words and those objects appear. And it's incredible the way the sort of environment reacts with what you do, and it's all very, I've got no idea how they sort of considered all the different possibilities, and everything just works, and it's astonishing game to play. You just, whatever you think of, you just type it and it happens. So yeah, that's Scribblenauts Remix, and it's a great one to play with the kids, it's a great one to play on your own, it's just a great game in general, and I can't believe it only costs 69p. So next up we have Flick Golf Extreme, and it's kind of like more of a mini game than a fully fledged title, but again, this is like a 69p app, so we can't expect much. But the thing is, it's really addictive. It's not like a typical golf game where you actually go around courses, but it's basically like a sort of golf course where you only have one shot, and you've got to try and get it as close to the hole as possible. Now while this sounds really difficult, you do get to sort of play God when you actually hit the ball, so you can control wind, you can control spin, and that kind of thing, and it gives you actually quite a lot of freedom, and you start chasing high scores and unlocking new maps, and it's quite a lot of fun, and you'll find yourself going back to this game a lot. There's quite a few different maps, and there's plenty of variety within the game. There's a couple of different game modes, a tournament, tutorial, and a campaign, so should keep you company for a while. It's definitely worth the asking price. So then we have Backbreaker 2. Now this is actually a fairly old game, but it's really fun, and I've never actually sort of showed you the gameplay of it. The objective is to get from one side of the field to the other and score your goal. But you get these increasingly difficult opponents who try to stop you, and you've got to use your sort of agility and sort of spinny turny things to try and dodge them. And this game is hilarious. It's so incredibly enjoyable to watch the slow motion replays of you getting absolutely destroyed and taken down to the ground, and it's really satisfying, and it doesn't get old very quickly. It's just basically there's two modes, there's an endurance and then a tournament mode, and both are great fun, so I think you'll like that. Then we have Field Runners. Now this is pretty much my favourite strategy game on the iPad, full stop. It's the most polished tower defense game I've ever seen. It's very slick, very smooth. The mechanics are not exactly deep, and there's not exactly RPG-like customization here, but it's very user-friendly experience. It's got nice cartoony graphics, and there's a fair bit to do in the game. There's lots of different maps. There's a fair few towers, however some of those are only by in-app purchase, which is really annoying and a bit surprising for a company of this standard. But anyway, the game is really fun, you'll never be forced to buy anything, and there's a lot to do here. Definitely, again, very worth the asking price. So here we have Jet Car Stunts 2. Now I've not really played much of this game, but from what I have played it's great. I really enjoyed the first game, and a lot of you probably know it just because it was so popular. You basically control a car around a track and don't get destroyed, which is actually much harder than it sounds. This is like one of the first levels and I'm already struggling. But yeah, this is very fast, frantic fun, and it's free. There are in-app purchases, obviously, as you'd expect, as well as a few ads, but it's not exactly obtrusive and still a great experience, although I would have preferred, no in-app purchases and a paid game, but that's just personal preference. Right, so the final game on my list is Monster Crafter Pro, and coincidentally this was obtained for free by the first app in the video. So yeah, this is basically like a fusion between Minecraft and Pokemon. You basically create your own character, You know, you feed it, you train it, you do all that kind of stuff, which I'm not too fond of, but the actual fun bit is sort of ploughing through lots of different dungeons, fighting randomly generated creatures, and big boss fights. And it actually gets increasingly difficult. You know, we start off with literally just tap the screen to do a normal attack, but as you sort of progress through it, you gain increasingly awesome looking and damaging attacks, which is always fun, and it actually has that sense of ownership that we know and love from games like Pokemon, which is quite rare on an iOS game, so I guess, you know, maybe it is worth it to you, and I kinda like this game, but I haven't really played it that much. So that's it from me, guys. That's my top iOS games and apps for May to June 2014, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.